That one scene, you've got feet and a hole. So I think already...
Girl, that's some gay Hello, everyone. Welcome to A Story Worth Telling, where we review all things LGBTQ plus cinema. And we're back with what we call ASWT games.
Are you spelling that with a Y?
Oh, yeah, someone said I should spell it as a game.
And what are we doing this week?
Well, Josh, this week...
Please say you haven't used ChatGPT, because
well,
we know how that went.
The goal today is to explore some mainstream blockbuster films that we all know and love and have always been deemed as relatively heteronormative, straight, kind of mainstream coded. But are they actually? Are they? And we're going to argue that they're actually queer as fuck.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Do people still say fruity? I've never been called outwardly in the street. Oh, he's a bit fruity.
So the way this is going to work is each of us has picked a movie that we think falls into this special category of straight but not straight.
Yeah.
And we're gonna argue for our chosen movie. I think you should go first.
Okay.
Yes.
So this film is personally one of my favorite films. Well,
really?
Favorite 3 films in the world.
Oh, hello.
And I genuinely have loved this my whole life, but having realized that I have always watched and loved them, I'm now seeing that they're a bit queer. There is queerness.
Well, put us out of our misery. What is it?
The Lord of the Rings trilogy.
No fucking...
You shall not pass!
I shit you
No.
not. The Lord of the
Right.
Rings trilogy is
Right.
actually a queer allegory.
Is it because it's Lord of the Ring?
No. What? His anal ring? Yeah, sure. It's actually just about butt plugs. I mean, if that's not gay, I don't know what is.
Right,
So,
go on.
it's
This'll be
all
good.
about, obviously, you know, you take the fantasy thing and it's like heroes and stuff. But really, when you examine it closely, there's so much queerness there that you never realize. Number 1, Sam and Frodo.
Yeah.
That is male love at its finest. There's so many moments where they're like staring into each other's eyes longingly, like throughout all 3 films. They're going at it together. They're lifting each other up. Like he literally like lifts him up. They go all the way on this journey together. Like that is love. And you're like, okay, it's like friendship, but also it's like to be that committed to someone. Girl, that's some gay shit.
I feel like you've overplayed Frodo's role in that relationship. I'm willing to give you like Sam's gay and has fallen in love with his best friend who maybe isn't available. You know, I'm willing to give that. Okay?
Then you've got
Okay.
Aragorn. He is literally bisexual
The
energy.
spider?
No,
Oh, it's
Aragorn.
Oh, wait.
That's Harry Potter. Wrong fucking film. Honestly, he's literally bisexual first. I fucks everyone in the entire series.
Yeah. That's fine.
Actually, in my eyes,
even Ghost Armies. He fucks with his eyes.
yeah. Legolas and Gimli, which I love this. They are 2 people from different groups, and they find common ground, but they
different
start
tribes.
off hating each other.
Right.
And there's always like, oh, elves, oh, dwarves, and we're getting to like the big point here. And then they eventually fall basically either in love or like friends with each other, and they can accept each other for who they are.
I think they just spend the whole movie measuring dick sizes, honestly.
Well, that true, but in a way, that's gay as fuck. Gandalf literally reincarnates himself as a better, prouder form.
Why?
Literally, that's like queer rejuvenation, right?
Oh, right. Okay.
And
so
so
he comes out.
Yeah, absolutely.
More fabulous, arguably.
Yeah, more fabulous. It all comes down to the fellowship is what is deemed as, in my eyes, it's like this, it's their chosen family. You've got all of these different people from different backgrounds coming together. It's like a queer family group. And actually what the Free Peoples of Middle-earth stand for, the diverse queerness out there. And what Sauron and the orcs, because he wants to make everything
Yeah, how do the
evil.
orcs fit into that?
He wants to make everything equal. He wants to make the world of the orcs and all of that. That is straight culture, bitch. That is like conforming. That is like being forced to conform. And he wants to destroy all of that. And the ring, so this is the best bit. The ring itself, that's shame. Because he wears it around his neck the entire time. And it's a burden. And the mission is to cast it down into the fire and get rid of that shame. And get rid of that expectation and conformity that's being thrown on them, and they do it in the end, and they go, no, bam, we're free peoples of Middle Earth. It's honestly, just see it. You see it?
I'm pretty convinced.
Yeah, girl.
I'm pretty convinced.
It is literally queerness. It is the story of overcoming the main hegemonic society and going, no, we're allowed to be who we want and we're free from it. It's fabulous.
Fucking hell.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
girl.
have to look at that in a whole new lens now.
Yeah.
I'm honestly, that was like an essay. Have you thought about this a lot before?
I have actually, yeah. Because for so long, I love those films. And I'm like, okay, why do I love those films? And now I get it.
Miss The Hobbit.
Well, The Hobbit is just about a dragon. No, I don't know. I mean, it's weird because there's a lot of like, very much like C.S. Lewis with Narnia, which also, again, is totally queer-coded. They're going in and out of a closet. But there's a lot of like reading into those people, those writers, and how they were very Christian, and so there's a lot of Christianity. But I quite find it, and so with Token's work as well, there's a lot of talk about how like there's Christianity, and even paganism to a degree, because there's like multiple gods and stuff. But I think then you can like flip all that and go, well, actually, there's a fuck ton of queerness in there as well.
Right. Well, I think that deserves a round of applause.
Any questions?
You know what? I find it very difficult to poke holes in any of that argument. I want to know who the tree people are. You know,
the tree people are elder gays.
They're elder gays.
Yeah.
They're like supporting.
They are like,
they're
we fought this battle before.
Yeah. The politics encroaching on their rights. And, they're like,
and actually,
no,
they get to a point where they're like, no, we're not having this anymore.
We're going to fight back.
We're going to fight back.
Comments below, honestly. I think you've nailed it. All right. Do you want to hear my one?
Okay, yes.
So I was thinking about Pirates of the Caribbean initially.
Oh.
Because I love those movies so much, and they're camp as tits. But I couldn't find a story in there where I was like, oh yeah, no, that is queer coded.
Pirates are queer already.
You know.
Well, that's.
So.
Oh, here we go.
That leads me on to my movie, which I think most people will agree is one of the most heterosexual, male-focused movies that you could find if you were looking at like a blockbuster shelf. 300.
Oh.
300. Okay.
Yeah.
And let me...
To be honest, you don't have to argue hard for this because
You're in
already.
300 men. Okay. It starts off with a confrontation outside a city, and then someone gets kicked down a hole.
This is Sparta!
Right? And in that one scene, you've got feet and a hole. So I think already we're off to a great start, okay? And then 300 men volunteer to leave their families to go live in a cave for a bit together. They don't bring shirts. They don't bring them. They don't need them. They don't need shirts because that's not what they're there for. They're there just to oil up one another, to stand in rows.
Yeah, girl.
And then shout at each other a little bit.
Yeah, and hold each other's spears.
Yeah. Spearing,
Spearing.
Yeah. Lots of spears.
Yeah.
They can handle themselves a weapon.
Adjust your sword, boy. It's digging into my back.
But I'm not wearing my sword.
Carry on.
And the cast, right? Because it is well known that those abs, not all of them were real. They spent time drawing abs on one another. You tell me that's not, like, gay.
Do you know I once did that?
Drew abs on yourself?
Yeah, with a makeup.
Lol. Things we do
It was
to
for a
find
school
a boy.
production of Aladdin.
And what were you?
Aladdin!
But that movie to me is like changing room, like shower vibes. Very like homoerotic.
Yes. So
You know?
my question is, what does the Persian army represent?
The straight
then?
people.
Okay, but then what does that say about them all dying at the end of the movie?
You know, at least they went out in style. And like that is like, if you were to choose to go out, would it not be in a gay sauna with all of your friends, handling each other's spears, to the bitter end. I mean,
I would
there you
go out that way. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
yeah.
Not gonna lie.
If
But what
you're
about the
right.
creepy guy? Because he's like, he like
The one in the
tries to
chair?
be the hunchback guy. Yeah, he like tries to be on their side, and then he's gay betrayal,
He's the he represents self-hatred.
Oh my god, yes.
300 men.
You know, you don't even have to convince me. That film is...
That was a moment of enlightenment for me as a gay man. I was like,
It's gay as fuck.
I'm
What's
watching it
really
for the
interesting...
for the plot.
Also, I always thought the Persian army, when they showed those scenes, arguably it's a little bit like, it's not done in the best light at all. And people have like talked about how like it's quite
Sure.
But weirdly it's also quite queer as well, because he's got like all those
He's got the nose rings.
yeah,
and
and he's like very kind of like,
and he's ripped as well.
yeah. But what's also really interesting is that if you look at ancient Greek Spartan history, they are famously known as the bisexual army, like the bisexual army of Greece, because
They're just there to have a good time.
they were all just fucking each other. They had wives, but then the men, because they spent so much time
Abroad.
in the army and stuff, and in the barracks, they...
Well, I'm sorry, you would.
Well, you would.
You would.
You would.
Leather.
Yeah.
There you go. There's my essay.
So Greeks in general are just gay.
Yeah.
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 So I get that. But it is funny because I remember when that film came out and it was very like, it was a broy film. It
Yeah,
was like,
but
yeah, dude.
Just a
Like,
bunch of gorgeous topless men.
it is.
Very
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I agree with you.
So what other ones did you have?
So
like,
there's quite a
list?
few. The Matrix.
I'm not seeing.
You're not seeing it at all. Okay, right. Well, bar the fact that the writers of The Matrix, I think it's the Wachowski sisters, both
Sisters?
trans women.
Oh.
Both trans women.
Okay.
When you look at it through a trans lens, the whole Matrix series is one big story about it.
Ooh.
So you have got this essential story of like people living in a conforming a body, if you like, that they don't want to be in, and they give the choice of the red pill or the blue pill, and then which one is to get out? I can't remember.
The red one.
The red one.
Spoilers.
And that is basically coming out of, is basically going through a transition, and it's going into the body that you want to live in, and the reality of breaking down that conforming, because it's like aliens that control you. I mean, I've watched Matrix like once or twice in my life. I roughly remember it. But fighting that,
Yeah.
and then coming out as like your real self, you know, your true identity. It's an entire trans allegory. It's fucking huge. And
I'm
there's
gonna
so,
need
and the
more
thing is,
convincing on
no,
that
but
one, I think.
there's if you go out there and you read up on this, there is actually so much literature on this. Like, it is ridiculous.
Interesting.
And there's certain, so like Neo represents like like different characters represent different journeys along the kind of journey of like coming into your gender identity and stuff. And like Neo represents like this in the first film, especially like this very like kind of like, I don't question things. I live my life how I'm told to live my life. Yeah, it's huge. It is a huge thing.
I really want to rewatch The Matrix.
Yeah. And the fact that like the writers literally, I feel like you have to acknowledge that they've definitely put some of their own experiences
Yeah.
into that. Fight Club.
This was gonna be my one. Yeah, it's like
Gay AF.
Yeah.
We
got
don't
this,
talk
like,
about
hot,
Fight
sexy
Club.
person. He's like my alter ego. I mean, yeah. Oh, spoilers.
We don't talk about the things we do behind closed doors when our wives are not around. There's literally,
Or husbands.
it is literally very hyper masculine, like, and then at the end when everything starts crumbling down, I always found that fucking weird moment where Edward Norton is kind of with Helena Bonham Carter and everything's crumbling down. It's like the reality of like the
love
truth's
it.
coming out. It's
love that
all
movie.
fucking gay.
You met me at a very strange time in my life.
The Mummy, 1999, Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz. I'm not gonna lie,
Really?
I had a sexual awakening to that film. Because they're all just fucking like... And she literally spends that film, Rachel Weisz's character, having a, oh, I think I might like women crisis.
Maybe there's something about like a bit of sand and like heat and a bit of sweat that makes people just homosexual. You know?
Mulan. We got to talk about Mulan.
Okay.
That is...
Mulan is a tricky one. Okay.
The funny thing is, there's
put
a
that
lot
one
of
out there.
Disney films, first and foremost, that have queerness throughout them. Frozen as well.
Frozen. Oh yeah,
Frozen.
A massive one.
Mulan is literally a gender story.
What a woman coming to fight and doing male things.
Yeah.
And yeah, okay.
There's a whole journey there.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of like horror films. So if you've ever watched, and I've watched bits of it because I hate horror films. Jennifer's Body
No, I've not seen it.
with Megan Fox. Basically,
Megan Fox?
Yeah. It's so queer. It's actually like renowned for being like a kind of queer cult classic. And Nightmare on Elm Street 2. There's a whole scene where, I mean, the whole film was basically about this boy having these horrible nightmares that he's killing people. And he's like, kind of like, I want it out of my head and in denial. I mean, literally, that is a coming out of the closet story. There's a whole scene where he ends up in a gay bar and he gets caught by his like gym teacher, and then the gym teacher ends up getting whipped in a steamy shower to death. If that ain't gay, I don't tell me that's not
fit
gay.
The brief of this is obviously a straight movie that is gay.
So gay. So Petty Pumpkins, who I love, by the way, if you haven't checked them out on YouTube, subscribe to their channel. They're amazing. They reviewed Nightmare on Elm Street 2, and they said the same thing. They were like, this is so queer. And it was like released as this big kind of like horror film, but like the whole story is like this guy like trying to get rid of the gay thoughts in his head. It's amazing. A couple of other final ones. Twilight.
Do we want to give so much credit to Twilight?
I don't.
It's not that deep.
But it is kind of funny. And a personal favorite of mine that I was doing a bit of research. Hear me out. Because actually I do get the argument here. Hear me out. Jurassic Park. First of all, Jeff Goldblum, daddy. Straight people
Yeah.
like to control genetics.
You are really bending over backwards with this one,
The
aren't you?
dinosaurs represent queer people who defy those genetics, and they will. Life finds a way.
Well.
And we eat them. What? Because they're trying to control us. They're trying to control life.
You're
getting it. You are getting it.
On that one.
You're born this, you're born that way, blah, blah, blah. You know, you're straight, you blah, blah, blah. And the dinosaurs, they
start breeding.
They start breeding. And they start becoming free, and they start evolving into new forms, right? And they're like, we have to contain them.
Sorry,
we
I'm
have to
not
contain
coming
them.
on this journey with you.
No,
I'm not
I'm
going on this
telling
journey
you
with
now, I'm a T-Rex. You're a pterodactyl. No, you're probably a brachiosaurus. A triceratops. Bottoms.
Sorry, bottom.
It is, I see it. Because Jurassic Park, one of my favorite film franchises.
Yeah, but you're just trying to make your favorite film into a gay movie.
It's gay.
You are gay.
It's fucking gay.
A
It's
little baby
basically
dinosaur.
you can't like have control over our lives. You can't play God. It's queer liberation. And we get to eat them. We get to eat the straights.
Right. Yeah. And on that loose argument,
To be honest, you could go through films for hours. I love it all.
I think your Lord of the Rings one, very strong.
I know.
Very strong.
I know.
Jurassic Park, less strong. But, there might have been a key moment in that movie that we didn't talk about.
I think you can find queerness in so many. I mean, I was literally going through rabbit holes of just like, oh my God.
Sounds
oh
like
my
a very
God.
you thing
And
to
when
do.
you start to look at things through a certain lens, you are like, whoa. And you also have to consider, like, all of these things came out in blockbusters and stuff, but you never really know the true intention of a film unless you personally speak to, a director or whatever.
But also, films can be a bit subjective as well. So
They
you
can
read,
be.
You can read,
You can read
into
it.
Yeah.
But I'm a T-Rex. If you have any other films that you agree or want to suggest down below, let us know. Because
What straight movies are actually a little bit gay?
yeah, tell me it's not queer. Okay,
Bit of fun.
okay.
All right. Well, thank you very much for watching.
Indeed.
Subscribe to see more fucking bullshit. And we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.